Hello, everybody. It's Adelaja here. I want to continue to talk about the elite, and the elite have a misunderstanding of their role in our society. Actually, I wrote a book on that about elite, but that's not what we're going to talk about today. But the topic of today is how the elite are killing Nigeria. Believe it or not, it's not just the politicians that are killing Nigeria. The politicians are just one of the elites we have. We have different groups of elites, but mainly the elites that I'm talking about are the elites that have interaction with the politicians, like business elites, for example, or like the kings, or like the like the governors, or like the senators. So we have all kinds of power brokers in Nigeria, and they call themselves stakeholders. But the elite that I want to use today. I've spoken about the AMCOM. You remember the AMCOM people, when 20 people collected about $30 billion from the government and are not paying back, and I gave you their names. Well, those are not the only people that are destroying Nigeria, that are killing Nigeria. Those people are the businessmen. The elite businessmen are killing the country, but I've also spoken about the elite politicians and senators that are killing the country as well. But today I want to use the AMCOM situation as a case study. So just want to paint a picture to you. What will that amount of $30 billion do for Nigeria if that money had been directed to the public use or to ordinary people? So let's even assume that all the elites in Nigeria, the money that is coming to them, either they are businessmen or the politicians, or the money that is just being circulated in that 1% or in that 0.1%, if that money is going to the nation and to ordinary people, what could it have done? So I'm going to use as a case study the $30 billion that 20 people collected from Nigeria. Because so people will say, but it's just 5 trillion naira now. How can it be 30 billion? Well, remember that 5 trillion that was collected, that was back in 2007. At that time, the exchange rate was 80 naira. Exchange rate with a naira. So that would have been like $45 billion. But let's even say, it's 150 naira per exchange rate at that time. But we know it's not 150 naira. It was not 150 naira, but let's say 150 naira. So even if we use 150 naira as the exchange rate for 2007, you will still see that it comes to $30 billion. So let's just take the middle average amount of $30 billion. So 20 people stole and took from the coffers of the government only 20 people of the top elite. And there are 500 of them, if you want to know. There are 500 super rich people in Nigeria, the elite, that are using the commonwealth of Nigeria. The whole wealth of Nigeria is in their hands. 500, and 200 million are dying of hunger, lack of electricity, lack of water, they cannot send their children to school. Why these 500 people? But by the time it goes around, it goes to the total of maybe 10,000 Nigerians. So 10,000 Nigerians are the ones who have access to what they call national cake. So let's just use this as a case study where a situation with the AMCOM, when only 20 people collected 30 billion from Nigeria. And 30 billion is the total budget of Nigeria today. 30 billion is the whole budget of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and only 20 people took it. Only 20 people. So what we will now say? So I want to paint a picture to you what 30 billion will do. And that kind of 30 billion is not one case. It's just one case I'm using. This AMCOM one, I'm just using as an example, as a case study. But there are cases like that with kings. Every month in Nigeria, from the federal budget, money are being given to kings, to Nigerian kings, monarchies. And there are over 1,000 of them. So the money that is supposed to use to build the whole country is being distributed to the kings. The same thing, the money that is supposed to go to the people is going to the hands of the governors or ex-governors or deputy governors or people who are seeing themselves as the landlord, the country, or the landowners of Nigeria. So let me start with electricity, because electricity is the biggest problem that we have in Nigeria right now. You know, the cost of electricity in the whole world is the same. It's basically the same. Because for you to get 1,000 megawatts of electricity, I mean, I'm talking about the gas-powered electricity, you need $1 billion. So you need $1 billion to produce 1,000 megawatts of electricity, all right? So let's say, how much do we need? How much can $30 billion produce? If you are talking about, electricity, which is 1,000 megawatt, and you need 1 billion. So it means with that 30 billion, we could compete. We could do 30 megawatts. 30 megawatts of electricity, which will make us to rival developed countries. We will produce electricity at the level of Great Britain, at the level of South Africa. We will be, because South Africa has 40,000 megawatts. UK also has 40,000 megawatts. So we will be 30 megawatts, we will be having 30,000 megawatts, almost on the same level of Britain, Great Britain, the same level of electricity, the same amount of electricity as Britain and UK. That is just from the money that is coming from AMCOM alone. I'm not talking of the money that is given to the governors and to the kings and to other people. This is just we can resolve our electricity problem if the elite will not pocket all our money. That's why I said how the elites are killing Nigeria. The elites are the people killing our country. Right now, I'm talking about the business elite. So 20 people alone, and I told you there are 500 of them that are doing this kind of operations every day. And then in the larger context, there are 10,000 of them. So by the time you calculate, if the 20 people will do this, what is 500 doing? How much are they collecting? How much are 10,000 people collecting? So our development would have been hugely accelerated if the money that is taken by 20 people alone is only sent towards electricity. We would have been a developer, because if electricity problem is resolved in Nigeria, everything will be resolved. Well, let me give you another illustration, another picture. Another major problem we have in Nigeria is clean water. 86% of Nigerians don't have access to clean water at all. 86%. We don't have water and we don't have tap water in the house. Our people, we cannot provide it, and because there is no money. But 30 billion US dollars that 20 people, only 20 people stole, we provide safe and clean water to the entire, not just Nigeria, but it will provide clean and safe water to the entire world for 3 years. Not just for one time, for 3 years. And how many people do we have in the world? Almost 8 billion people. That 30 billion alone is enough to provide water for the whole world. Because the price of providing water for the whole world is only 10 billion per year. And Nigeria can still not provide water for our citizens, which is only 200 million. The whole world is 8 billion. That money alone could have been used, but that money would rather be pocketed by the elite. That is how the elites are killing Nigeria. That's why I'm making the point. So if you are in Nigeria and if you really want to help your country, let's begin to talk out. Let's begin to speak out. Let's begin to raise the topics. Let's begin to protest against these things. Let's begin to raise up movements, pressure groups, and let's begin to encourage NGOs to begin to speak out, say, we are not going to tolerate it. That is why I say it's not restructure we need. We need reconstruction. We need to reconstruct our whole idea of Nigeria. We need to reconstruct the whole concept of, distribution of wealth in our country. Now, let me use another example. Child mortality. Nigeria is number 1 or number 2 in the world in child mortality. Children are dying in Nigeria at birth higher and more than in any other country in the world. But you know what? $30 billion could resolve that problem, not just in Nigeria. $30 billion that is the money that is stolen by 20 people. that will resolve the problem of child mortality almost in the whole world. Because to provide MMR vaccine for every child in the world, it will only cost, that 30 billion will provide it easily. Because children are dying daily in our hospitals in Nigeria right now. Why these people are pocketing the money? The money is going to their pocket while our children are dying. And that money will not just provide, it will not just resolve the problem for Nigeria, it will resolve the problem for the whole world. The children will not be, child mentality will be reduced. But our 20 people alone pocketed that amount. Let's talk about education. Because Nigerians now are going everywhere to study, to get admission to higher institutions. They go to Ghana, they go to Gambia, they go to everywhere just to get admission, because we have 5 million people who want to get admission every year, and our universities can only take 1 million. But with $30 billion that 20 people pocketed, even Nigerian government could even decide to pay for the registration of all Nigerian youth that want to do WAEC. We could help them pay, because even me, I couldn't pay for my WAEC. Somebody had to come to help me. But with that 30 billion, we could pay for everybody's WAEC and pay for their JAMB as well. Which even if the price is like the way they are sell, is it 50,000 naira or something, we could pay for everybody. But what is happening right now is that nobody cares for the youth. We have about 70 million youths in Nigeria. That 30 billion could take care of their education easily. That 30 billion is not just more than the budget on education. Is more than the budget of the whole Federal Republic of Nigeria. And 20 people are the ones who took it. I don't know if I should continue to talk, because I'm just afraid that you might not be able to process this whole thing. Maybe it's too much information, but maybe I will record it, and then I will probably put the whole recording out there for people who can really do the calculations. Let them do it, and people who cannot, maybe we'll cut it into pieces for you to be easier for you, because for a lot of people it might be too long. But let me just keep on doing my recording. So let's talk about another thing that this money could do. You see, let me paint another picture for you. United Nations, that is UNO, has a relief operation that they do for the whole world, right? They have a budget for their relief operation. And their yearly budget, at least for the year 2014, for example, their yearly budget was $13 billion. So that is the whole relief humanitarian work they do for the whole year. With $30 billion, can sponsor the United Nations relief operation for 2 years. We can sponsor the whole United Nations for 2 years, but 2 people in my country pocketed that money. Let me paint yet another picture for you of how sordid the picture is, because some of us, we don't even know how big this kind of money is. Let's say we want to feed. Let me paint this picture for you. With $30 billion. We have 200 million people in Nigeria, right? With $30 billion for everybody to do 3 square meal. If you can feed 200 million people 3 square meal every day. They will not pay for anything for 1 month. That is what $30 billion can do for you. The whole population of Nigeria, in the village or everywhere, you can feed them 3 square meal. Let them eat any amount of money they want. And you can do that for 3 months. Now, let me paint another picture. What is $30 billion that 20 people in my country pocketed, though, and they don't want to return, though? That $30 billion, the whole capitalization of Zenith Bank. Do you know Zenith Bank? That's one of the biggest banks in Nigeria, or First Bank. Their capitalization, the biggest bank in Nigeria, their capitalization is just 20 billion. So 20 people who took from government covers 30 billion. It's like robbing a bank. It's as good as going to the bank and collecting all the money in the bank. But in my country, they are working free. They are working free. I mean, they are the big men. And this, you could be saying, who are these people? Where are they? You remember, I've done the video about the list, the names of people killing Nigeria. But the point I'm making in this one is that, first of all, it's not just those AMCOM people. That's just an example. But there are other people that are regularly collecting money from government coffers without working for it. Like the kings, our monarchs, like the governors, the retired governors, the deputy governors, the senators, the politicians, and other businessmen like these ones who are collecting contracts and are not doing anything with it. Let me give you another picture of what $30 billion will do. What is $30 billion? Right now, India has spent $75 million on their mission to the moon, or they're actually having a mission to the Mars. They are planning to go to the Mars. They are working right now going to the moon, Mars, their space mission. India was able to build their space industry with $75 billion. With Nigeria, with that $30 billion, we could, that is just $75 billion is just to have one mission, to send one expedition, all right? But we can send 200 expeditions to the moon, to the space, with $30 billion. 200 times we could send our space, astronauts there. But we don't even have astronauts, because money is going to the pocket of the people. You see, let me give you another example, another illustration of what $30 billion will do. We don't have our national carrier right now. We don't have Nigerian Airways anymore. It's one of the things that President Buhari is passionate about, right? He wants to restore the Nigerian Airways. And he could still not do it in his first 4 years, because they couldn't gather the money, because the money is going to the hands of vested interest, going to the hands of the elite. But with $30 billion, we could build Nigerian Airways. We could raise it up again. We could rebuild the whole thing and equip it with Boeing 767, because Boeing 767 is $188 million US okay? So if it is 188, less than $200 million for Boeing, 767-ish, then can you imagine with $30 billion how many could be bought and purchased for Nigerian Airways? Of course, we could purchase as many aircraft as we want. But right now, we don't even have the airlines, talk less of the aircraft. Now, let me give you another picture. We have Innocent. The guy, his name is Innocent, a man that Nigeria should all be proud of. But he has a car manufacturing or car producing company in Anambra State, and he has one of the pickups that Nigerian police is buying, and that's a good thing that Nigerian police buy, not from Italy, from Japan anymore, but from Innocent. But one pickup truck there is costing $20,000. So it's not too expensive. So Nigerians could go and be buying from Innocent their cars. Can you imagine how many trucks, how many pickups, how many jeeps Nigeria government could buy and equip the Nigerian police with? Because crime is a big deal in Nigeria, and they are always complaining they don't have money, they don't have cars, they don't have this, they don't have that. But if the 30 billion will go to just give them all the cars that they needed, in such a case, crime will have no place in Nigeria, because the police will be equipped. Unfortunately, nobody is thinking about that. Everybody is thinking about their pocket. Let me give you another example. $30 billion will provide the salaries, because now they are talking about 30,000 naira salary. They are still arguing about that. Let's increase it from 18,000 to 30,000. But the elite, the businessmen, the AMCOM people, the 500 businessmen, the super rich, and they are pocketing much more than that every day. They are pocketing, millions every day. That, like I said, 20 people pocketed 30 billion, or actually more than 30 billion. That money could have paid, the new salary, the 30,000 for youth, for the youth corps, or corpers, we call them, teachers, doctors, police. We could have paid them their salary like 5 years, 10 years ahead. if we are going to pay them 30,000 naira each. So $30 billion is a lot of money. Let's talk about students in Nigeria. Let's talk about students. A lot of students in Nigeria don't even have computer. With $30 billion, we could provide 2 laptops for every Nigerian student from primary school to university. Because that laptop would just cost about 100,000 naira or 200,000, 300,000 naira. We could provide that for you. Everybody could have a laptop. Let me even give you a more vivid picture that you all remember. We all know what is 9/11, right? 9/11 in America, 2001, when the terrorists bombed the World Trade Center. You know how much World Trade Centers we could build in Nigeria with $30 billion? We could build 6 of them. $30 billion we don't even have one World Trade Center, anything to compare. But we could build 6 World Trade Centers with $30 billion. Because to build one is just $4 billion. But so what do we use money for in Nigeria is the problem. Because we could have this World Trade Center, if we could build 6, we could put World Trade Center like that in every geopolitical zones of Nigeria, thereby, becoming a tourist attraction for the world. Nigeria could become one of the most beautiful places in the world. So $30 billion is a lot of money. For some of you who like cars and expensive cars, the world's most expensive car in the world is called Lamborghini Veneno, I think. And but how many $30 billion? How many Lamborghini we could buy? You could buy 5,000 of those cars. Because it's just costing about $4 million or so. You could buy 5,000 of such cars. But what do we have happening in Nigeria? In the vested interest, the elite, people who have connection to authority, are the ones pocketing the money. They will take contract and distribute the contract between themselves. They will not do the contract. They will not, do the work. They will pocket it. Let's talk about President Buhari. Any president of Nigeria, the average salary of Nigerian president is just about 12 million naira monthly. Now, with $30 billion, we could pay him for 200 years. You could pay a Nigerian president for 200 years with $30 billion. But so what are we talking about? We are talking about all the waste, theft, corruption going on in Nigeria. And we could say, okay, President Buhari is doing a good job by fighting this corruption, but fighting corruption is one thing. That is not the solution to this. Solution to this is reconstruction. We need to reconstruct Nigeria. Not restructuring, but reconstruction. We need to reconstruct the old basis, the foundation of the country. Nigeria is built only for the elite right now. Nigeria is functioning not for the citizens. Every country is supposed to be built to function for the citizens. Every country is supposed to work to raise up citizens, to raise up the weakest people in the society, to make sure that every person in the society, has a worthy life. That is what every country is about. That is what government is supposed to be about. Government should be about raising up, the less fortunate people, the less privileged people, and making them to have at least, average lifestyle. But in Nigeria, that's not the way Nigeria is built. Nigeria is built to service the interests of only vested interests. It's built to just serve the interests of the elite. Only the elites have everything, but the people who they are supposed to serve, they don't even know. They are not even aware of it. That is what restructuring is about. Reconstruction is about. We need reconstruction. We need to reconstruct the whole political mechanism of our country. We need to reconstruct the whole, can you imagine? Even our Senate is paying maids, giving allowances to senators to own other citizens as maids, giving money every month to governors so that they will have other Nigerians as their servants. The whole construction of our country is like in the feudalism era. It's like in the Stone Age, where some few individuals will have all the wealth and the rest of the country will only be crawling on the floor to come and beg them for some change, for some chicken change. So $30 billion, okay, it's good that we have people like Dangote, right? He's a billionaire and we are proud of him. He's one of the few that are using their money to really empower the people and build the economy. But $30 billion that 20 people stole is like 2 times the worth of Dangote himself. And can you imagine how much Dangote has added to this country? And that $30 billion is even more than his whole wealth, 2 times more than his wealth. But we don't even see what those people have done for the country and for the people with that $30 billion. Like, look at Lake Abuja, for example. The National Stadium is in a mess. It was built for over $50 million. But with that $30 billion, we will not just depend on one national stadium. We could have that kind of national stadium in every state. We could have national stadium in every state. So we will not, oh God, they have killed our country. I mean, can you imagine the amount of money Nigerians spend on medical tourism, I think they call it? Traveling to India and England and America for medical services. $30 billion could have built 100 world-class hospitals all across Nigeria, in every state. 100 of them. But what do we have? We have nothing. Even with $30 billion, there are some islands that cost only $500 million, $500 million, $500 million. Like, actually, that is the most expensive. There is one island they call Lanai Island. Lanai Island in Hawaii. You know how much that, and it's the most expensive island though. It's only costing $500 million. Now, with the $30 billion, Nigeria itself could have its own continent. We could buy 40 islands like that, just with $30 billion, just for you to know what $30 billion is. It's a lot of money. If you are giving, let me tell you something. If you are giving $30 billion today, and you are spending 1 million naira every hour, it will take you 1,000 years to finish it. If you are spending $1 million, or not every day, but every hour, it will still take you hundreds of years to finish that $1 billion. So that is the situation we are facing in Nigeria, that some people are stinkingly rich, and there are only about 500 in our country. The people that have benefited and are, also rich, but they're not, stupendously rich, but they are also rich, they are about 10,000. So even if it is 10,000, what is 10,000 people controlling the 90% of the wealth of the country when the whole country is living on less than $2 a day? It's a disgrace. All of us we like Dubai. We could build our own Dubai with that $30 billion. I mean, of course, $30 billion is not enough but to build Dubai, but at least we could build a presentable city, capital, and even state capitals. May God help Nigeria. And I want to call upon everyone that is watching us that, please, let's begin to talk. Let's break the plague of silence. Let's begin to appeal to pressure groups, NGOs, social groups, leaders. Let's begin to, we need a national conference. We need the media to wake up and really challenge the government on these things. We need to do demonstrations. Because if we don't do it, we might end up having a bloody revolution in our hands. For the love of God, church, and nation.